Welcome to a highly unserious guide to K-pop fandoms and what I would have named them instead. Fandom names are common for Western performers with dedicated followings. There's the Beehive, the Little Monsters, the Barbs. Surely you've at least heard of the Swifties by now. However, in K-pop, groups get a fandom name pretty much the moment they debut, if not before. And some of them make significantly more sense than others. I thought it would be fun to go through a few of them and attempt to upgrade them. I tried to stick to fandoms for groups that are currently active. Unfortunately, my all-time favorite fandom name is actually from a second-gen group who haven't been performing together for years, so if you make it to the end, I'll throw that one in as a bonus because it is just too clever not to mention. I did also make one exception for a group that disbanded prematurely in 2023 because I have an especially good answer for that one, and they're still relevant. Let's see if you can guess who it is before I make it there. Post in the comments if you did. Let's do it. Starting off with aespa. Their fandom name is called My, which I guess is somehow tied to the SMCU, but I hate it. I thought it was a joke when I first heard it. I'm gonna rename them as Asbestos. That's kinda mean, but ask Taeju. You really don't want to be on their bad side. Moving on, next up we've got ATEEZ. Their fandom name is A-Teeny. I know it says A-Tiny, it's pronounced A-Teeny. Also terrible. Like, what? It doesn't... I mean, the name ATEEZ doesn't make a whole ton of sense either, but A-Teeny makes even less sense. Let's rename them as Zeta. I have a bit of an emotional attachment to Zeta because it was the name of the rock station I listened to in South Florida growing up. May it rest in peace. Along with rock in general. Thanks, Clear Channel Communications. Anyway, next up, we've got BLACKPINK. Their fandom name is Blinks. Should be Color Guard? Crayons? Honestly, Blinks makes more sense than at least 90% of other fandom names, so I'm going to leave it as is. Then we've got BTS. Their fandom name is ARMY. Listen, I don't want to die, but even though ARMY has actual nothing to do with the name BTS, it is accurate in every possible way. Not only because their fandom is kind of terrifying and will absolutely destroy you if you step on the wrong side of the line, but also because all members of BTS are currently serving their mandatory military service in the actual Korean army. I know I said these were active groups, but they are technically active military, and their contracts are still very much in force, sorry for the pun. I would be remiss to exclude them. Like I said, I'm not trying to die here. Next is EVERGLOW, whose fandom name is Forever, and should be Coldplay? I'm sorry. No, just kidding. Maybe Embers? Sure. Embers. Whatever. Next up, we've got ITZY. This one I do have a good one for. Their fandom name is MIDZY, which was such a missed opportunity. It totally should have been BITZY. Come on, guys, it was right there. Certainly putting the mid in MIDZY. So disappointing. They dropped the ball on this next one, too. Next up, we've got IVE. Their fandom name is Dive, or you might have heard it pronounced as... This one should have been Weave. Then we've got Kiss of Life. Their fandom name is Kissy. This one is actually great because it was my cat Crystal's nickname when I was growing up. I really prefer that over going the CPR direction with it, so that's a good call. Nostalgia wins once more. Then we've got SSERAFIM, whose fandom name is Fearnaughts. Honestly, the Fearnaughts can keep their name. It's SSERAFIM's name we should talk about. Anyway, if you guessed correctly, you'd already know that the recently disbanded group I mentioned at the beginning is LOONA. Their fandom name is Orbit, and it totally should have been Lunatics. Then we've got NCT. Their fandom name is NCitizens, which is genuinely pretty clever, but also a little confusing to the uninitiated because it looks like netizens with a typo. Maybe we'll call them NCTeens? Sure. I'd be willing to bet that quite a few of them are under the age of 20, so it works. Speaking of being under 20, next up is NewJeans. Their fandom name is Bunnies. It should have been Pockets, Inseams, Denim. Why Bunnies, though? There were so many choices. If you're over there like, but the light stick, can I just mention for a second that I hate the NewJeans light stick? I can never look at it without thinking of a Mickey bar that the chocolate fell off of. It makes me feel sad and unfulfilled in precisely the same way. Anyway, next is NMIXX. Their fandom name is Answer, which, like answer. I really think it should have been Enjoy, though. They enjoy NMIXX, no? I think we can all agree that this next one is terrible. Next up is Purple Kiss. I love Purple Kiss, but their fandom name is Plory? What? It should be Purple Rain? I don't know. Plory ain't great, though. They should really take a page out of Kiss of Life's book. Let's go with smooches. If they had more of a Latin vibe, besos would have been cute too. It doesn't really fit with their concept though. Next up is another one that I don't get at all. 17. Their fandom name is Carrots, which is like a diamond? What? I don't. Okay. Well, I'm going to rename them as primes. There aren't 17 members of 17. There are 13. And they break into groups of 3s and things like that. So, those are all prime numbers. I think it works. Whatever. Better than Carrots. Not that that was a particularly high bar or anything. Then we've got Stray Kids. Their fandom name is Stay. They should be orphans. Well, not like they should be, but they are orphans in my heart. And that's what matters. Right, well, next is Twice. Their fandom name is Once. This one is perfect. I have no notes. I love it. We're keeping it. Next is Tomorrow by Together, which you may also see written down as TXT. Their fandom name is MOA for Moments of Alwaysness. Maybe they call it MOA. I don't know. But either way, it should be MSG for like text message. Emojis? I don't know. Moments of alwaysness, though? Like, all right, whatever, guys. It's so dumb, I can't even argue with it. I don't know who came up with that one, but they are fired. Next, we've got XG. Their fandom name is Alphas with a Z. Should have been YG. No, I'm just kidding. Extras? Experts? I like experts. Let's go with experts. Then we've got ZEROBASEONE. Their fandom name is Zeros. It should have been Baseheads. Like, I was genuinely disappointed when I found out that they didn't go with that. Clearly nobody asked me. I would not have let them down. Phew, we made it through the alphabet. However, if you'll recall, I did promise to include my #1 favorite fandom name as a bonus to thank you for watching the whole video, so here it is. If you were counting, you know that I just went through 20 different fandom names, which is entirely appropriate because my all-time favorite fandom name belongs to none other than 21, the Blackjacks. If the reference isn't immediately obvious to you, 21 is the winning score in the card game Blackjack. This is so perfect because obviously 21 was winning with their biggest fans. So clever, I couldn't possibly improve upon it, so I'm not even going to try. That does it for now. This was a lot of fun. Which was your favorite? Naturally, there are so many other K-pop fandoms out there than just these few. So if you enjoyed this episode and or know of another group you'd like to see me attempt to rebrand, let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Don't be toxic, and I'll catch you next time.